Welcome to the Fourth and Short podcast, a breakdown of the hottest topics on the Schuylkill League sports scene, with your hosts, Eli Doyle and Leroy Boyer.
Well, welcome to another edition of the T102SportsNow.com's weekly podcast, Fourth and Short. I'm Leroy Boyer. This is Eli Doyle, and we're with the coaches and captains from the Blue Mountain football team as part of the annual Clash of 61 captains that are here at Roma Pizza in Pottsville. Guys, welcome to the program.
Hi, Stenham. What's up?
We're joined from your right to left. Reese Miller, Josh Huber, Duke Renninger, William Shaner, Dylan Foose, and Brady Strauss, and head coach Chuck Putz. Reese and Dylan, Reese and William, we'll start with you guys. Talk about the keys defensively to beating Pottsville on Friday night.
I think as the D-line, we just need to be dominant in trenches. We need to be able to pressure when they pass and hold the line of scrimmage and contain our gaps on the run plays. And honestly, we just need to dominate the trenches until progress. Same role every week.
I think we just need to stay this and come down to blending.
Dylan, talk about the trenches that Will just talked about. Offensively and defensively, Blue Mountain likes to run the football, run-based offense. How important is it for you guys to win that battle?
Yeah, I think both sides of the ball, offense and defensive line, it kind of sets the tone for the rest of our team. If we're doing good up front, the rest of our team could rally behind us and get things rolling.
I'm Josh now. And Josh, tell me a little bit about just the skill guys. We heard a lot about this offensive line this year, but skill positions have been making a lot of noise for you guys as well. Just talk a little bit about what you guys do and how you guys have got to this point here and why they're so developed.
I think we're a very fast group of individuals. We got good hands. I think we put that route into them. So, so just in that come together, very actually these off.
Just to follow up, I'd seen it in quite a few box scores on specifically defensive side of the ball, but some interception. What's just your vision like this year? How are you seeing the ball here?
Seeing the ball great.
Sleep.
We're fine. Yeah, you're fine. Just tell me what's been something this year that taken away that maybe you've added to your game on you.
Sounding like a career I have some big 4-year-old.
Just being aggressive, seeing the ball going to get it. Maybe our offense or any of us, we still get the ball in the air.
Certainly, guys, we haven't heard from you. Duke and Brady, and as senior captains, this game means a lot. Clash of 61, you guys lost this game last year. The overall series is 7-6 in favor of Pottsville. Obviously, winning a game like this would be not only key for your season, but to get you some momentum going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think this game is very important every year, even if it doesn't mean just the football team, but everyone brings everybody together. This is a traditional game, always a lot of tension for this game, but at the end of the day, it's just another football game, good for win. Because I've been dominated for saying we're in here.
Coach, you played, for Blue Mountain against Pottsville. We were having some discussions about the old times during dinner here. Great meal put on by Roma Pizza, and shout out to the booster clubs that put on for these kids. From the coach's perspective, what's your keys to victory, friend?
Our keys kind of stay the same weekly. As they said, dominate the trenches. It's always big. You always have to play all three dimensions of that game. So win up front, offensively, defensively, with special teams as well. Try and stay balanced with a good run attack, which opens up your pass game. It's always important. And then that turnover battle. So, we've had success this year. We've been darn near perfect. The games have been kind of stumbled as well. We had a lot of errors, whether stumbles, roving aside. And so really have to come with a focus. This game's always a special game when you go up to, Veteran Stadium. It's a very neat environment, an exciting environment. You really have to come with a focus and not get caught up in all the hoopla outside of the ball game.
Well, just to dive into some hoopla of the ball game, obviously you guys touched on it. This is a special game, right? You play kid we grew up playing multiple sports probably against. It's right down the road. It's out of sort. And Leroy could go on and on about the numbers for this game all day long. I'm going back as far as you can imagine. And this is open for any one of you. What's something that's special maybe especially some of you guys in their seniors, coming into this team? What's something that you just want to take away and kind of remember? Maybe not playoffs can go the way you guys wanted last year, but this year, something that you guys take away more than just a win.
Well, before the season started, my older brother passed away. So growing up alongside that, he would always call me names. He would always call me weaker than him. It's just the thing what an older brother does. So going into this game, and I mean, I just think of him every single time before the game, and I just felt like I'm being proud at the end of the game, no matter the result. I mean, I know I'm proud either way. Well, I hope we get it done. So.
And just a follow-up for you, and I know obviously take this again, got some advice here from both coaches before the game. The people popping in, this support here and there. Now, have you got anything else about this game coming in this week? Anything you see tell us? Have you got any other little special pep talks or anything? Has anybody that maybe has played in this team before told you workers meetings for them?
Oh, so my pad just with me. He was really looking forward to this time again. Play Pottsville when we were younger. We just decided to watch us play.
Any final thoughts, Ines?
Go Birds.
Once again, we're here at Rolling Pizza with the Blue Mountain Group. Reese Miller, Josh Hoover, Duke Redinger, Will Shaner, Dylan Foose, Freddie Strauss, head coach Chuck Kutz. We'll be right back with the Pottsville captains.
Oh.
We're back with the second segment of this week's T102sportsnow.com's weekly podcast, Fourth and Short. I'm Leroy Boyer. This is Eli Doyle. And we're with the captain and coaches from Pottsville's football team in preparation for Friday's Class of 61 game at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Guys, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Sure.
We're joined here by Juju Bainbridge, Brody Baddock, Brody Hartman, Paul Cesare, and Logan Kessler, and Nick coach Mike Brennan. Guys, let's talk about Friday's game. Coming off a big win over Wilson, get your record to 3-5. We'll ask the living first. Just talk about how important it is. The Blue Mountain kids just mentioned that winning the trenches was their key objective. How much of that is a key objective for you guys?
I think it's as much as exactly as this. I just this for them. The line to where it starts. That's what Coach Brandon says all the time. It's where we win games and on both sides of the ball. So regardless, it's just where we guess.
We use that what we did last year. It's on the Devon Borough and simple as that.
Loaded.
You really got to set the tempo to start the game with your own either side of the ball for offense or defense line, whether it's the first punch or just how you call up the ball. You have to go fast and let the rest of your team know how you're going to be that game.
So,
Juju, we'll talk to you. Kind of disappeared, obviously, with the leg injury. Honestly, we feel for it. We wish you could be playing this game just like everybody else. Talk about your recovery and maybe what you've done to help these guys, whether it be in practice or normal support or being their biggest cheerleader.
Yeah, recovery it's been slow so far. Can't really do much, but progressing as best I could. And then for the guys in the team, I was there for them in any aspect that is needed. Anything is asked of me, I'll do it no matter what. I'm always here for my guys.
It's a little over here, but you haven't talked to yet so far. Talk about defense, shall we?
Everyone knows defense, big part of our game. We know what we're going to do Friday. We're going to do it well. And around the field, won't be on the field all the time. We're going to stop them, get the ball back, and score.
Kept at the linebacker, slow down. I love watching those linebackers. But tell me exactly what it is.
Next to me, it's Max Blues. On the sides, we have Shashan Costi. And whether it's Brett Hawley, Corbin Evans, whoever it may be, Harrison Chamberlain. It's a big part of our game. We run around, make plays, and do what we have to do.
You just fly all over the place. I was at your game Saturday. Really tough game in the middle. You guys really held Wilson basically nothing in the trenches. Just talk about how well you guys have gelled together throughout this year. You see you guys pre-snap talking to each other and relaying signals or whatever's coming from the sideline. Just talk about that progression a little bit. How have you guys gelled and gotten better throughout?
Of course, communication. We communicate for every play. It's a big thing, and we can't go out there, not communicate, because then we're going to be off track. So every single play we have to communicate together. everyone has to know what they're doing, and it's tough ball.
Brody mentioned last year's game, a 28-14 Pottsville win in a similar situation, right? Coming into the game, not too many people outside of your inner circle thought that you guys were going to win the game. Might be the similar case looking at records and looking at some other things this week. How much does the win last year in this game help you confidence-wise?
Helps us a lot.
Stare out.
Because after the competition we had with the last thing we Berg do the same. UBM, fine.
Anybody else want to chime in on that?
We walked from the last year, they put a chip on our shoulder. We really walking out of that game. None of us are doubting us. We're doubting our team or anyone, any of the ability we had coaching wise across the board. We saw the numbers. We saw that nobody picked us to win, and we took it as basically motivation. And we just wanted to come out and wanted to show everybody what we could do to play our brand football. I think last year's game was definitely a morale boost for us. Getting the trophy back, all that. And we have to go into the game the same thing as last year. With chip on our shoulder. We have to overcome adversity like we did last year. We had to stick together as one, pick up having mistakes, and have to be perfect.
Talk about the atmosphere Friday night. Homecoming, Logan was a king candidate, not a finalist, but was one of the king candidates. 2005 state runner-up team will be in the house to their 20-year anniversary. And obviously, the recent passing of Coach Kevin Keating, the winningest coach in Pottsville history, he'll be honored at some point during the course of the night. Just talk about that atmosphere and what you expect it to be, and how that may help you, to be a part of in this game to comply with it.
Yeah, the atmosphere at our stadium was just just tranquil. It's so nice to see all our fans out every Friday night, come support us and all that. And it's just such a good feeling to know that we have fans that care about us, that we have people that want to see us succeed.
We all know that all the odds are going to be on us. Everyone's going to be loud. Everyone's going to be us around. It's just a huge game every single year. It's going to be a good one. Everyone's looking at us, can make plays, and we're going to put ball in it.
Before we get over to Brandon, give him the hard questions to answer. A lot of teachers that we know in the building are Pottsville football alumni as well. Have you got any words? It's only when we're filming this, but have you got any words of advice, maybe pep talks, maybe anything you want to share with everybody?
Yes. My physiology teacher, Pete, is a war coach at Pottsville, and he tells me, he said, go beat the Eagles. He's talking to the jokes between football and
Coach Brennan, talk about this one. Last year, got a big win in this game, and it kind of was a big springboard. And you went on to be ACC and at this playoffs at Southern Lehigh, back to the wire. Talk about the keys for Pottsville to win this game on Brett.
Well, they have to be consistent across the board. So we've had some inconsistency this year. Human mistakes, starting to talk about a lot, being addressed today. And we've gotten better at that. So we got some conference. Something mentioned about the conference and Dave that goes to the very end Saturday. We have to build from there. We've been great. We turned the ball over for first hour last week all year in terms of problem football. We've been great in that regard. Looks for penalties. Can't just tackle. We got to be consistent fourth quarter. That's a full game of their football mission. I think, I don't think anybody else. These kids are fantastic. They drive every day. I'm hard on them. They know that. We demand our expectation level is extremely high. And the expectation level on Friday night is the one football game. So you don't care that we're 3-5, they're feeling 4, none of that matters on Friday night. It's for me, that's each game has its own personality. And we're that is good. We can practice together all year. We understand the court to this, we're battling for playoff seed. We're battling for our pride. At the end of the day, we can fix all the wrongs. G2's injury, everything else with people this year, which was a ton, but we talk about it all the time. We can fix it all for the advantage of Friday night.
Talk about your offensive progression. Obviously, you lose your base weapon. Andrew Allen, second year as a starter, has had sophomore slumpage to a point. And some of the guys that are now trying to pick up the slack for him are kind of finally molded into that role. Max Fuse, Jay Strimboski, guys that we mentioned before. Talk about your offense and how maybe Saturday was the biggest step that they've made in getting better.
Yes, let's start with the offensive line, guys. I tell that all the time. That's a good white coach. He's senior offensive lineman. Jacoby is outstanding here as a senior offensive lineman. Those guys have carried us. They've been consistent every single night. Protect the passer and give up 2 sacks all year. You've run the ball to some degree. That's somebody else or so forth. Then also, I think that's the big part is we have to be able to be good out front, to be consistent. Our receivers have to be consistently get better. We have a lot of young guys, receivers that you have to win the 50-50 balls, for balls that are grabbing. You have to make plays. Running backs, we're finding our new personality. Well, with Max Tulias, he's done a great job as a big presence. Bowie Arrow's a great change-up guy. He gave us our touchdown again this week. He does a great job for us. Change to tempo and speeds. It's not just on Andrew. Andrew obviously feels all the pressure, especially in the lost Juju. I think everything Andrew is feeling was on his shoulders. But he's been consistent throughout. He's capable of having a breakout game at any time. So it's not any one guy. And I think we're figuring that out. We found our way deficit. And, collectively, whatever was left on the field, we have to step up and answer. We have to play with us football.
I just tell a backstory here. Good coach. Got to see his last Saturday, like I mentioned, that was parked by the bus. That saw us roll walking in and we're coming into the stadium. Here comes the tie off and Fields and Warnock's biggest smile on his face. Andrew out. We weren't sure if he was playing that game. A little banged up the game before. We weren't sure if he was playing. We didn't even have to ask. And this look on his face. We knew he was playing. I'm not watching that like football. And he puts his heart out there every week for you guys. Let me give Juju a shot to get us first. Just tell me something about Andrew. Let's embarrass a little bit there if I like it. Tell me something about Andrew that you've seen his growth progression over the last year.
It's really been amazing. He's really young to play the quarterback position, and he's grown so much. So just understanding defense better, and just understanding our scheme as best as possible. And he's a kid that walks around with on his face happy all the time. But it's amazing to be around him.
Now, Coach Brandon touched on a great point here just a few minutes ago. Pick up the slack for you a little bit. Max Clues hit the ground run. And like Coach said, change your pace with Brody Arrow, and not even that, you had a few wrinkles. You ran a reverse last week. The Shea Sherkovsky brings it down to the 12, and I think Brody punched it in from there. What are you thinking? How are you feeling just looking at these running backs? Obviously, like we said, you want to be out, right? But there has to be a sense of you're proud, right, of watching these Saudis and what they're doing. Because I've got to see you for these last couple of years. They're tremendous athletes themselves. But now watching these guys have to fill in, just like I've seen you do before, or whether it was the football field or basketball, or step into a role and just taking a stride. How'd that make you feel?
I'm very proud of our running back group, especially like Max Cluj is being thrown in there after playing HVAC tied end in HVAC for the last 2 years to get done in the running back role and succeed and running the football. It's very good. And Arrow, he's a dominant guy, but he really stepped out and ran the football very well for us. I think that I'm just very proud of the group as a whole.
I sure. And you want to add to that, Coach?
Going through hard times is what brings your team together, which is tough. So everybody has to step into a different role already now. As a program, we had a whole road this year. We've had to look each other in the eye while we had to put our feelings aside and no selfishness. Everybody's playing for one another. Everybody has to. I don't know if football players did that at some point. We're going to stay in the back. So when we go out this week, and everybody takes care of their business. Everybody does their job. No one cares who gets the pass in the back. If we could act collectively on both sides of football, and especially in the first quick set, we had a very good chance for the football. But we got pulled over in the same direction, everybody's happy on the same page, and it doesn't matter if somebody plays one snap or plays on their 25 snaps. That's what's up to you find out to win a game. We'll be selling. Alumni bands on back, shoes, more back. It's Pots of Blue Mountain. It's Tuesday, but the 20-year anniversary of that championship team on back. Then they look all of us in the down clock and before you out outside it. That's probably not real awesome responsibility. Everyone in the store around knows it. And we had a great week of practice. It's almost time to go a little tired.
Like to give Phoenix Physical Therapy a shout out here. They're the ones that sponsor the lump of coal type trophy that's behind the camera that is awarded traveling trophy. Pottsville has it. They won it last year. They also give out the MVP awards, one from Pottsville, one from Blue Mountain. Shout out to Bob Dussel and everything he does, not just for the kids, for our website, and for high school sports in general here in Stephen County. I'm Lee Warner. This is Eli Doyle. I'm here with the Pottsville captains, Juju Bainbridge, Brody Baddock, Brody Herndon, Cole Cesari, and Logan Kessler. Head coach Mike Brennan. Tune in Friday night in WPPA for the Clash of 61 between Pottsville and Blue Mountain. We'll see you next week.